to a health check-in. We're going to kick things off with an alarming new look at the Black maternal health crisis. Plus, we've talked so much on this show about the benefits of social media breaks, and now some research is showing the impact of closing apps for just 1 week could have on body image and self-esteem. It's a big one. Psychotherapist Dr. Robi Ludwig joins us now to help us break these down. Dr. Robi, always great to see you. Let's jump right in. So a study, this is out of England, it found that Black women are more than twice as likely to be admitted to the hospital for severe cases of prenatal mental illness than their white counterparts. That word, perinatal, that word refers to the period during pregnancy, and then I think I understand it as long as a year after pregnancy. What factors are causing that disparity, and what needs to change here?
So it was a really horrifying discovery. And, they think part of the reason is that it may be cultural, where there's some resistance or shame surrounded around mental illness and addressing it, and also sociocultural and structural issues. So Black women may not have the finances to go to doctors in a way that is healthy for them, and there may not be access to the doctors that they need. So what is now being considered to heal this disparity is to really look at education, educating women in terms of their mental health and well-being, and also educating professionals to ask the right questions so that we can discover if someone is vulnerable to being hospitalized, if they have a family history, or even if it's not identified, to ask questions that could reveal a mental health history that should be addressed during pregnancy and after.
Really interesting stuff. Okay, this is also an interesting one. Researchers in Berlin talked to more than 100 politicians around the world. 41% of the current politicians surveyed, they reported low or very low mental well-being. Recently, a series of high-profile leaders even have quit. We've heard about this, signaled that mental health was one reason why. Maybe it's not a surprise. Politics are sort of a toxic environment, but what should the takeaway be here?
I think it was a surprise, because we tend to think of politicians as wanting the job and that they're strong and have a vision. But what the study found was even politicians had a reaction to the toxicity of the job, and that their mental well-being may not be as strong. So it's a very interesting study in that regard, where, maybe our bias towards politicians being strong mentally, that we still need to consider it is a very challenging job, and there's the silencing factor where politicians don't talk about it. So the study was suggesting, let's be aware of the impact that the job has on mental well-being, and we really want to get a hold of this and a handle on this so that really good people who can be leaders will want the job. They won't be dissuaded from applying to being a world leader because of, the death threats and the social media and all of those factors that contribute to the job being so challenging.
Yeah. Real quick, we do want to ask you this last one. So important. Another new study found that young women, specifically, who took a social media break for as little as just 1 week, they had this significant boost in self-esteem, body image. How is it that the change is that quick, and does this mean that this is something that we should try?
We know that social media can have a detrimental effect, and this study showed that they looked at women, undergraduate women, and when they took a week off from social media, they had a better feeling both about their self-esteem and also their body image. And what this shows is the 24/7 viewing of these images that kind of feed into this thin ideal was having a negative impact on women. And, in the past, when we had magazines that would come out once a month, we weren't bombarded with this kind of idea of what it means to be beautiful. So, 1 week break can have a huge impact. It's worth considering as far as contributing to our mental well-being and our ideas about ourselves.
Dr. Robi Ludwig, really important topics today. Thanks for joining. Always good to see you.